The pilot has now begun, and the first migrants who arrived on small boat are now in detention. That is the first step to removing them to France, because no one should be making this journey in the first place, and that's why this is now starting the process to return people and to undermine this vile trade in people.
You won't say how many have been detained, though. There could be just 2 people detained yesterday. Don't the public have a right to know?
Well, we'll provide regular updates for the public at every stage. That's why I'm confirming today that the pilot has now started, and the first migrants who arrived on small boat are now in detention. The transfers to immigration removal centres are underway as we speak, so we won't provide operational details at this point that criminal gangs can simply use and exploit. But no one should be in any doubt. Anyone who arrives from now on is eligible for immediate detention and return, and this pilot will now build, because we are determined that no one should be making this journey, and this is a vile trade in people.
You say return immediately, but your colleagues have admitted the scheme will face legal challenges and possible delays. How soon will the people that have been detained yesterday be deported, and could this appeals process last weeks or months?
Well, the pilot has now begun, so the first migrants who've arrived on the small boats are now in detention. We will then swiftly make the referrals to France, and that process will now start to be able to return people to France. It's the beginning of the pilot, and it will build as well over time, but we're also clear that France is a safe country, so we will robustly defend against any legal challenge that people try, and we do expect for people to start being returned in a matter of weeks.
Another part of your brief, protests in hotels. More protests expected this week from those unhappy about the housing of asylum seekers in hotels. Are you worried about those escalating, and what's your message to people potentially who will protest?
Well, we're clear that we need to end asylum hotels. That is a manifesto commitment that we made across the course of this Parliament. We're also taking much stronger action to tackle issues around illegal working, around criminality in the asylum system, including strengthening the law. So it's really important that we can take those serious steps, step by step, in order to bring down the numbers who are in the asylum system, in order to be able to close the asylum hotels, and in order to be able to restore order and control to the system, which frankly we inherited an asylum system that really was just in chaos, and is taking time to put that order and control back in place.
Finally, Home Secretary, you may have seen one of your colleagues, the homelessness minister, has made the news, Rashinara Ali, ending the contract of her private tenants, then relisting her property for £700 more a month. What do you make of that? Is that a good look?
So I don't know any of the details of this, but I understand that she has followed all of the rules in this case.